Hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle and this is my gaming update episode 2, and it's actually been 2 months since my first episode already, so there's been a lot of new games that I've been playing, and I have picked up 2 new systems since then. I picked up the PS3 and the Nintendo 3DS since then. I gotta say I'm loving both of them, probably more so the PS3 just because I've picked up so many more games for it, because there's so many games since 2006 that, you know, I've got to play. Whereas the 3DS just came out this year. And I've only picked up 2 games so far. There are a few other titles that I am interested in, but I'm just waiting for them to go down in price. And I would have picked up Zelda Ocarina of Time, but I do want to play it on the N64 first and beat it there first of all. So, you know, I'm just going to have to wait at least a year before I want to get back into the handheld version of it, I guess. But I am really looking forward to it. The graphics look awesome. So I picked up the Super Street Fighter 4 3D edition on the 3DS. This is my first game that I picked up for it, and I gotta say that I'm really enjoying it. I do own the regular Street Fighter 4 on the Xbox 360. I did enjoy that one, but I will say that I enjoyed the 3DS version more because, first of all, it's the Super Street Fighter, so there's a lot more characters in this game. As well, the combos are a lot easier to pull off in this game because on the 3DS, you just have to hit the touchscreen for when you get a super combo. So it's just that much easier for new players or people that aren't hardcore into fighting games. Like me, like I do like my fighting games, but I just don't have time to get really, really good at them. So it's a lot easier like that, and I guess new player friendly, which is awesome. I still have not gone online yet. I am going to go online very, very soon with this. But I'm just trying to beat the game with all the characters that they have. It only takes about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, depending on how good you are with each character. So I am really enjoying it so far, and it is worth picking up if you have a 3DS, especially now. I also picked up Pilotwings Resort afterwards. This is my first Pilotwings game, and I gotta say that I'm really enjoying it. I don't play the 3D on the Street Fighter game because it does look really nice, but because I'm moving around too much because it is a fighting game, I'm like button mashing really fast. It just kind of throws off the sweet spot for the 3D, so I only play it in 2D, but for the Pilotwings Resort game, I do play with 3D on basically all the time. It really looks really nice, and if you want to see how good the 3D looks, I would recommend picking this game up. As well, if you're a fan of the Pilotwings games, or you know, if it's your first time ever playing it, I still would recommend it if you're okay with a leisurely type game where, you know, you're not really shooting anything. You do shoot targets in the game. Basically what you're doing is you're just flying around, going through targets or shooting them in either a plane, a jetpack, or a hang glider, and it's just a really cool way to kind of show off the 3D in a landscape like this where you're just flying around everywhere, and it looks really, really nice. I'm a few hours in, I haven't beat it yet, but I'm planning to very soon. So that's the only 3D games I have picked up. I am going to be picking up some more in the coming months. I picked up Uncharted Drake's Fortune on the PS3 because this is one of the exclusives that you have to get, apparently. I do enjoy Naughty Dog's games. I was a big fan of Crash Bandicoot. I didn't play the Jack and Daxter games, but I did really enjoy the Crash Bandicoot originals. And I gotta say that Uncharted is an awesome, awesome game. It took me about 8 hours to beat. That's all I did. I didn't try for any of the collectibles. I didn't try on hard mode or anything. I just wanted to beat the game. And I gotta say that if you have the PS3 and you do not have Uncharted yet, I would strongly recommend getting this. The platforming missions, I guess, are really, really fun. It does get a little bit tedious with the shooting parts of the game. It's still fun, it's just that I enjoy the platforming aspects a little bit more, and the puzzles that they have. It's a really, really good game. One of the best probably from 2007. So I also picked up Duke Nukem on the Xbox 360, and I gotta say that I'm a little pissed off with the amount of flack that this game is getting. You know, I've seen like a 3 out of 10 for this game, and this is from like big review sites and, you know, companies. So I don't understand why so many people are hating on this game. I've heard that they say that the graphics are not up to par for this game. It does feel like an early Xbox 360 release, like a 2005 release or something like that. It's not the greatest. It still looks very nice though. And I do understand that the loading times are very, very long. It's pretty ridiculous sometimes, where I understand sometimes if they're loading a level that you haven't played yet, so it's going to take 15 to 30 seconds to load the thing. That's very long, but what ticks me off a little bit more is that when you die in the game, it just takes that same exact amount of loading time to restart the level to play the game, to play the level again. It's just ridiculous. So I do understand that the loading times are, you know, a major setback for this game. But other than that, I found myself really enjoying this game. It's about 14 hours long. I haven't gone on to the multiplayer yet, but in single player, the puzzles were really fun. The humor is still there from the old Duke Nukem games. And some people say that, oh, 12 years ago it was funny, but now it's not. I understand that if you were younger and you don't like the jokes anymore now, that makes sense. But like, let's say if you still play the old games and you still enjoy them and you find the jokes funny, you should find these just as funny. It's as if people are just looking for excuses to not like this game. So I would recommend getting it. I wouldn't give it 3 out of 10. I'd probably give it about 6.5. It's not the greatest FPS there, but for a 14-hour FPS campaign with very good puzzles, I would recommend it for those aspects. And if you're a fan of Duke Nukem before, it does have, you know, the first half of the game I was just like enjoying myself exploring and, you know, seeing what the Duke would say at certain situations and what you would find. It's really fun in that kind of sense. I also picked up Record of Agarest War Zero on the Xbox 360. I actually got the limited or collector's edition, whatever you want to call it, which came with like just, you know, some extra cards and goodies and a little booklet there. So for $10 more. And I'm about 10 hours in. I've heard that it's a very lengthy RPG, but I've been wanting to get into an RPG for a very long time now because I haven't played them in years. And I decided that this was a new one, so I'd try it out. It's not the greatest RPG that I've played, but I'm still really addicted to it. Like, RPGs are one of the rare games that I can play for hours at a time and not be bored. So I play like 3 to 4 hours per session, and I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm hoping to beat it, I guess, whenever I have the time. I also picked up MotorStorm and MotorStorm Pacific Rift. I only paid like $5 for MotorStorm and like 15 for this one. And I've only played about an hour each. My brother was down and I wanted a multiplayer game that we could both play, so I picked these up, and they're pretty fun. For $5 and 15 bucks, I couldn't go wrong. So I also, when I got the PS3, I got Call of Duty Black Ops, and I have not played it yet because I already beat it on the 360, and I don't have a PSN account yet. I'm hoping to get that this week and try it out to see how it is on the PS3. So I haven't played that one yet. I also picked up Resistance Fall of Man. Now it is the greatest hits, and that kind of ticks me off. I haven't played these games yet, but you know, greatest hits on the PS3 don't actually look too bad. I do actually want to pick up the regular editions yet, but they didn't have them, and I didn't want to go online and wait because I am wanting to start Resistance Fall of Man this week. And another cool thing that I got with the greatest hits dual pack is that I got a voucher for a $10 off the next Resistance 3 downloadable content. So apparently I'll get like free downloadable content for that, which is pretty cool. Of course, after beating Uncharted and enjoying it so much, I picked up Uncharted 2, the Game of the Year edition, because I really want to try this out. I don't know when I'm going to play this. I do know that I want to play it and beat it before Uncharted 3 comes out, but that's not until November, so I still have a bit of time and a few other games that I want to try out before then. Just want to see how good I'm doing on time. Okay. Then one of my friends knows that I play video games a lot. She knows that I love video games, and she saw the regular Genesis and the Sega CD for $5, and she had to pick it up for me. She's like, oh, for $5 I can get this for Kyle. And I thank Natalie a lot for this. She actually got a few games for it too that came with it. So $5 you get the regular Genesis and the Sega CD, and you got Sonic 2, Sonic Spinball, and NBA Jam. There was another few, but these are the only ones that I'm going to keep. So I thank you a lot, Nat, for that. I haven't played them yet, and I've never played these either because I never owned a Genesis or basically anything from Sega until the Dreamcast, and of course then that one went out of stock. So awesome. I do plan on playing at least Sonic 2 sometime this year, and I'm probably going to get 1 and 3 as well now that I finally have a Sega Genesis. I picked up Transformers War for Cybertron on the Xbox 360. It was $40, and I was at the store with my brother and I was like, oh, I want to play like a game that we can play on multiplayer. I didn't realize that it wasn't a 2-player game, only online. So I haven't played it yet. I do plan on playing it at some point very soon. But just so many games, you know. I did pick up LittleBigPlanet before I bought the PS3 because it was going to be a reason for me to pick up a PS3. You know, if you can't have games and not the system, so it was kind of an incentive for that. So I finally got to play it and I did beat it. I did really enjoy it. I wouldn't say that I've enjoyed it as much as other people. I've only played the campaign mode, so I only played like 8 hours of it. I have not gone online with it yet, and I'm probably not going to create anything with it just because I'll probably do that on LittleBigPlanet too, so I might be missing out on that aspect. It is pretty fun though, and during the last few levels that they have, it was really, really fun. There's one part where you're kind of like in a big circle and you have to go from the small of the circle and you have to go around while it's moving to the other parts, and you have to hang on, and it was really, really neat in those parts, and I really enjoyed the last few levels of the game. And there's other parts where you have to hold on to things, and you have to go down and zigzag between areas. It's really, really neat platforming that they had for that game. Recently, I just had an urge to play SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. I do own others of the game, but I just wanted to go back and play the GM mode. If you've ever played these games, there's a GM mode where you get to kind of like create your own storylines, and that's what I've been wanting to do. I did beat this game, and that's actually a very long game. It took like 18 hours just to beat the regular game with one of the wrestlers. So if you're interested in getting the game, I would recommend it. It is the Platinum Hits, and I can't stand looking at that because it's just horrible looking. But I had to pick it up for $10, and considering that it took like 18 hours and plus the GM mode and all the other modes that they have, it's a really good buy if you're a wrestling fan, which I am. And last but not least, I decided to go back and play Halo Reach. Now, I first picked it up when it first came out and I beat it right away. But for whatever reason, I did not go online. For some reason, Halo 3 online just turned me off, and I was like, no, I don't want to play online. And I didn't really have anybody to play with at the time because they were all still playing Halo 3 and Call of Duty. So, I put it off, and then, 2 months ago, my brother came over and we're like, oh, what do you want to do? Would you want to play something online? Okay, well, why don't we try Halo Reach online? So we played it. And man, the levels in here online are just phenomenal. It almost feels as good as Halo 2 back in the day. Not as good, but still, I'm just having a blast with this. I've put in probably 60 hours online. My brother decided to pick it up as well, so we've been playing a lot of it. He's probably played even more than I have. But yeah, really, really enjoying it so far. So that's basically all that I've been playing over the last few months. And I do plan on playing a lot more because I'm off now finally. I've been working this entire summer and I never really play a lot of video games during the summer because it's too warm and I want to do other things, but that's what I've been playing in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know when I'll be doing the next update, probably before Resistance 3 because there's a lot of games that I want to play before then, namely Resistance 1 and Resistance 2. And if you saw my summer video game video, I talked about a few other games that I want to play and beat before then. And I am picking up some PS1 games very soon, so stay tuned for that. Goodbye!